Whenever I think of Vosteed, this is the blade that immediately comes to mind because it's one of the first designs they ever released, when the company opened up shop 2 years ago. Today, I'll show you a new upgraded version of the Mini Nightshade, with all the links to buy down in the description for you. Shrinking it down from the full-size 3 1/4 inch blade down to this 2.6 inch mini I think was a good choice. I mean, especially if you live in an area with like blade length restrictions. And, to be honest, this knife, it really doesn't feel as small as the measurements make it seem. Here it is next to the Mini Griptilian, which, as you can see, is going to be larger. Now next to the Mini Sheepdog, which practically the same size. And then next to the Delica, which, well, is larger. But check this out. Now, they have almost the exact same amount of usable sharpened edge. So with the Mini Nightshade over here, you're basically getting like the same amount of blade as the Delica, but in a much smaller package, which I think is pretty awesome. Now, I'm kind of embarrassed it took me this long to figure out, but I just realized which blade that the Mini Nightshade really resembles. Yeah, Spyderco Sage. The leaf-shaped blade has been upgraded from 14C 28N Sandvik steel that you see down below to this S35VN. So yeah, that's going to be a nice bump up in edge retention. One of the first things I noticed, like right out of the box, is the 2.5 ounce weight, which I like because it's one of the reasons, why this just it feels larger in hand. I don't know, it just feels more substantial. Now the other reason for its heft are these good looking titanium scales with a milled crisscross pattern that it really does help in the traction department. The 3.71 inch handle, it's long enough where I can just get a full 4-finger grip with my medium-sized hand. I mean, it'd be a different story though if these scales were any smaller though. Since there's no forward choil, you're probably looking at a 3-finger grip, if your hands are like any larger than mine. If you're going to be like cutting up stuff for, an extended period of time, this knife is perfect because of how comfortable it is in hand. Now I went ahead and I doubled up some cardboard. Let's see how it performs. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I guess it cuts good. We already knew that though. Man, just that downward angle makes it just effortless. Look at that. So like I was saying, compared to other blade shapes, you don't have to like angle your grip as much to use that tip. So that's why you're able to like cut longer with less hand fatigue. I also noticed that this edge, it wears more evenly because I'm not just using one small section of the blade when I'm cutting. I've got all that belly, and of course you can use it to like cut on a flat surface like kitchen counter, but I find it way more useful when I'm not. Now I know the thumb studs, they do kind of look like they're too close to the handle, but they're actually exactly where they need to be for like a quick, snappy blade deployment. I don't know what it is about the positioning of these thumb studs, but man, it is just so easy to flick this thing open. And I'm notoriously bad when it comes to like deploying blades. You always see me having to give it a little bit of wrist, but look at this. None. And the blade is riding on ceramic ball bearing pivot, so the action, oh yeah, man, that is good to go. The Omega springs are just how I like it. Nice and strong, but if I wanted to, I could only use, just my thumb to operate that crossbar lock. So they're strong springs, but not too strong, if that makes sense. And if you ever need to, for some reason switch them out, they do go ahead and include some extras in the box. Thank you, Vosteed. For the money, which we'll get to here in just a second, I thought that the pocket clip might also be titanium, but unfortunately it's not. At least though, it is a 2-position clip that is, you can see, Yeah, it's recessed into the scales, and they did go ahead and use flat screws. So nice little attention to detail there. And look at that. Blade centering on mine from the factory. Perfect. With absolutely like zero play in any direction. And I'm really wrenching on this thing. Nothing. Up, down, left, right. That's rock solid. And this version also has some really nice like blue aluminum accents going on, which I think do just add nice little pop of color. If for some reason you're not feeling this this color combination, there are two other versions available. One in a green titanium, which actually looks pretty slick with a satin blade, and another in black titanium, and that's got a black stonewash blade. Since there are a ton of upgrades going on here, using premium materials, it's going to reflect that in the $149 price tag. Now, is that a lot of money? Yeah, it is. But, keep in mind, you are getting a very well-made knife in return that it's completely ambidextrous with great blade steel, that should hold a sharp edge for a long time. Now, hey, I get it. If that price, is a little outside your comfort zone, you still have other versions available, like in 14C 28N Sandvik steel that that has good corrosion resistance, excellent toughness. I mean, honestly, you can't go wrong with any of them. Hopefully you realize by now that I only show stuff that I truly believe in. So if you can swing it, yeah, I totally recommend this Mini Nightshade. Up on your screen is going to be a video I picked out for you to watch next. And if you haven't already, hey, click subscribe if you're looking for more knife reviews that get right to the point.